this is J-Man and another episode of People of the Music. I almost forgot who it was again. And today, this is special for two reasons. I have Georgie from Kitchen Witch with me. Hello.
Hello.
Special for two reasons. Look at that. The
Shameless self-promotion.
Absolutely, go for it. Special for me for two reasons. Number one, interviewing Georgie from Kitchen Witch, and number two, it's the second time I've interviewed someone outside of Victoria. So the last one was Panna from Comacosa, and he was in Sydney. So it's nice to talk to someone else that's in a different, and you're in Adelaide.
Yep, Ghana land.
Fantastic. So that's the basic intro. What I want to do now is ask you what I ask everyone at the start of the interview, is tell me who you are, what you do in Kitchen Witch, and what is Kitchen Witch?
Okay, well, we are a band, and it's not a coven, although it is not a coven, but we do engage in creative vibration through music. I'm the vocalist. We're four-piece, we're pretty plain. Vocals, guitar, bass, drums. Although our guitarist likes to use a harmony pedal and pretend he's two guitarists. But it's just four of us. Yeah, so it's pretty fun. I love it. We've been doing it for nearly 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
And that just kind of blew my mind. But yeah, I usually live in the moment, so that just happened.
Yeah, cool. So in the bio, and I do a little bit of research on people, and one of your bios is Australian red dust desert rock outfit, and I love that because the whole desert rock thing is the California, that's sort of out there, but red dust, I love that. So is that something you just went, we've got to put that in to make it really Australian?
Yeah, I think so. And Connor and I, the guitarist, and myself, we do hail from Alice Springs in the Northern Territory.
Yep.
So I guess, and he was in a band that we used to go see at Wichita's, every Friday night with the local cover band. Not me, but they even played with Nocturnal. They were our friends, a band. Yeah, they're from Alice Springs.
Oh,
and
I remember Nocturnal.
The local cover band and the local acoustic act played on the same night.
Wow.
And it was all at Wichita's. It's changed now a lot. My family's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably got something to do with it as well. But of course, it's the kind of stoner rock, like Arizona, driving hot rods down the like desert highway vibe as well.
No, it's awesome. I love that you guys played with Nocturnal. Wow.
Well, yeah.
I love it.
Sorry, not me. It was called Incohesion there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But I was just at every gig. That was like, they're a metal band, they're really good friends, and Connor was the guitarist in it.
Yeah.
And Michael Breeny, who lives in Melbourne, I should say. Yeah. Shout out to Breeny.
Nice one.
And some other wonderful people too, but they're not from Melbourne. Tim Mariner, Paul Kelly.
That happens. There's some good people that don't come from Melbourne. It's terrific. It's nice.
Oh, look, I'm just trying to connect with you guys so there's no Adelaide Melbourne tension. We can't help it. We can still party here. Sorry.
Yeah, and you've just recently played a gig, which we've forgotten what that's like.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say on the other side it's going to be pretty good because there was a beautiful vibe at this event that was called Froth and Fury. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, the Froth and Fury Festival that was at Pirate Life down at Port Adelaide.
Nice.
It was just so well done. It was such an amazing day.
Yep.
And I haven't, it's so nice to have like a festival. We're lucky enough. We've been having gigs. I mean, some of our gigs have been the audience sitting down. you know, they've all got a drink in their hands, so they don't want to have to wear a mask. But if they're getting up, they have to wear a mask and all that sort of stuff. And this was just unbelievable. And it was postponed from July. So it's Jason North and Anita that does the events, who's an awesome Anita as well, Parrot Life. But yeah, I couldn't rate it anymore, and it sold out both days. They put an extra day on as well because the first day had sold out months ago. So yeah, we're pretty lucky, and I think everyone felt it that day too.
It's nice when that happens, when it all sort of gels together. It's brilliant. We're looking forward to that kind of, you know, oh, we're on the other side, you know, this is nice. We had a couple of smattering of in between lockdowns where we played some gigs, and not just me, I mean, we in Melbourne. And you know, there were limitations on how many people could come in and stuff like that. And it was just like, man, it's not a big enough crowd. This is going to be terrible. And it wasn't. It was fantastic because the crowd was so happy to be there and so happy to be out and about and just hearing live music again. It was fantastic. So yeah, I think there's a real appreciation at the moment for you know, maybe in the past we kind of took for granted that we could go out every Friday and Saturday night and, you know, Wednesday night to see a new band or something like that. But now it's, you know, it's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, there's a lot of love comes from music.
Yeah, absolutely.
And headbanging.
Now you said before that you guys have been going for about 10 years.
I think so.
So how did that happen? Like, did someone put out a thing and say, I'm looking for people? Did you know each other? What was the go?
Yeah, well, like I said, Connor and I went to high school actually in Alice Springs, and moved to Adelaide because he was in band, and they moved to Adelaide, and all my friends were down here going to uni. And anyway, that was years ago. But I started playing a bit of like goth keyboards and singing. So I was doing solo stuff. I know, it's okay. No, I love it. But I still love it. And I asked Connor to come on stage and just accompany me because I was feeling pretty weird about being up there by myself. It's a big thing. Like, I really take my hat off to all these people. Also, just people that play an instrument and sing.
Yes.
I just think that's amazing.
Yep.
It's really hard work. And
Absolutely.
you have to be, yeah. So Connor sort of helped me out, and he was just being charitable. And then we sort of we did have a few jams, and we started sort of busting out a bit more bluesy stuff. And then I was just singing, so it completely changed. And then we did a gig, just the two of us on a Sunday night, the Crowd Wankers, the Crown Nanker in Adelaide. And Johnny Russo came up and said, do you need a drummer? And we're like, we're just mucking around. And then I sort of checked out his band, The Rules, which were around a while ago, and they were really good. So once he hit us up again a month later, I'm like, this guy's good. We should get him. And so we did, and he was a big part of the band until about 2 years ago. And then he's doing his own thing now. Love Johnny. And we got Ed Noble from Filthy Lucre. Like, I don't know if you know them. They're another great Adelaide band, two-piece. And so we've had him for a while, which has been really great. And before that, we got Simon Elliott on bass right at the beginning. So it's sort of been the four of us for a long time. Unfortunately, we're looking for another bass player now. Like, J-Man, can you just fly over? You know, we need a bass player. So we're on the lookout because Simon's kind of just, we have had such a good time together, and we'll miss him. But we're finding another bass player at the moment. Which is just new opportunities, and it's going to be great. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, if the group's been together for 10 years and that's the level of movement that you've had, that's negligible. That's great. I mean, some bands, 5 years and they just churn through one particular thing. I remember I was in a cover band many years ago, and we just could not get a bass player to stick about. I don't know why. It was, it's just one of those things. It's one of those things,
Yeah, it
you
is.
know, and I think, you know, we all grow and we all change and we all move. But how do you think that's like listening to your music on Spotify? I hear a change in what you've released over time. Do you think that's uh, sorry, I shouldn't say do you think, was it on purpose to change how things were going, or did that just evolve naturally, the sound that you
Yeah, I
have?
think, well, maybe because like Connor can pretty much do anything on guitar. So he was probably thinking, oh, we're doing this blues thing. And it was blues rock and roll, and it's super fun and so good to just sing. I love just singing and not playing anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's been in lots of bands, and one in particular called Woe, who's amazing. And they're not together anymore, but you should check them out. Woe, WOE, from
Yep.
Adelaide. Harmonies and amazing. So I guess he was thinking, I get to do my own thing on guitar. This is my band for once.
Mm-hmm.
Not that other bands weren't, but he'll very much like work with whoever. He's the most sort of malleable, like flexible musician,
Okay.
and it's really great.
Because
But
it's
then
funny.
I think we, yeah, sorry.
That's all right. Go on, go on.
Oh, so I think we just changed from the blues vibe, and then we were like, well, we've always liked Caius. I mean, come on, we were like 17, just smoking bucket bongs, you know, like,
Oh.
you know, like, you know, we were listening to Caius, and it was the best. And like everyone likes Caius. All the bands that I like love Caius, and you just can't help it. It's in you, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. And thanks for that flashback of a bucket bong. I just I just had the most horrible flashback.
I bet there's some good ones too there, man. It's
Oh
really
yeah,
amazing.
there's some good ones. What I was going to say was it's interesting. Like Trouble, I really found I found it like almost like I'm thinking Dust Bowl of America and almost gospel and blues and like Woody Guthrie a little bit of, and it just, I'm like, wow, you know. And I hadn't heard, that wasn't the first introduction I had to you guys. I think the
Oh yeah.
first thing I heard was from Back to the Mud. I could be wrong, but my favorite track on Back to the Mud is Slipstream.
Okay.
And I just hear Sabbath in there, and it's so cool to go, well, here's this, and you know, you've even got that, there's a like a, goes for only like a minute or something where it's mainly just you singing. I can't think of
Yeah,
the
it's bass. The bass as well.
yeah, what's it called, Oh God or something. So
Oh Lord. Oh,
Oh
do you mean the
Lord, sorry.
acapella one? Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh
Okay.
Lord. So there's that kind of pocket over here, and then you bring out Back to the Mud, and it's like, oh wow, like that's really cool. That's a great, you know, a great move from that to that. And then Earth and Earth and Ether. I keep wanting to say Ender. Earth and Ether has a different sound, an evolved sound again. And that's kind of what I was saying. Was that a conscious choice, or was it just, this is what we feel like doing, and that's what we're going to do, and we love it?
I think it wasn't conscious, but I, you know, like I said, it's just in your subconscious to eventually get to heaps more fuzz. And I remember doing, oh my God, I don't even know the names of my own songs.
That's okay.
See what I mean? And live in the moment.
I can't play most of the ones we do.
Well, that's a problem. No. But I remember going, there's this local band. I'd just gone and singing Space Bomb, which are like a full-on doom, like
Yep.
slow, almost sleeps, like
Yep.
band. And I was like, it wouldn't be like this. Do, 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 do. And I guess it's just what you're listening to at the time. And I guess we got more, the boys are probably more into using the fuzz pedals. And I guess, yeah, it just sort of developed. It wasn't, I don't think it was conscious particularly, but who knows? Connor's probably got a master plan for it all, and I don't even know.
Well, one day I'll do an interview with Connor, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, you can talk heaps of guitar pedal stuff, and Simon too. but I do write the songs as well. But I usually, if I'm going to write anything on guitar, or like I said, like I'm like the riff goes like this, dun, 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 like I sing it, or I play something really, really basic on guitar, and then kind of goes, oh, what, like this, and makes it a million times better.
Yeah.
So that's handy having that person in the band.
That sounds familiar. We have one of those guys too. Talk to me about your influences for singing. So, like, what sort of, especially for Kitchen Witch, what kind of people have you sort of looked at or listened to, I should say, and gone, yeah, this is the kind of way I want to go?
Yeah, it's really hard looking for female inspiration in heavier music sometimes. It's not, but it's just fewer than, like, if I go see bands that I like on the weekend, I have to admit the majority of them are not female, and a lot of the singers aren't, and that's cool, that's fine, but it can be harder, and I think that's why it took me so long to get going with bands, because I'm not saying that you can't do it, but when you've got people, when I have an influence that's female in the same stuff that I do, same shit that I do, it's a whole nother ballgame, because I feel I can connect with them a lot more, even though people are people and I connect with lots of people. I definitely think it makes a difference. But I do love singers like Amy Winehouse, Sharon Jones, like, what's her name? Rachel from Lake Street Dive. I used to listen to bands like, who else? I mean, Janis Joplin.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
From Tank and the Bangers.
Tank and the Bangers, I don't know Tank and the Bangers.
Yeah, they're not really the same sort of genre.
But influence doesn't have to be, I guess, does it?
No. Just, Alison Mossart, especially the Dead Weather. I was really behind the eight ball when it came to like the White Stripes and the Dead Weather. But when I listened to the Dead Weather, I was like, this is awesome. And I think that might have had a lot to do with the bluesy sound as well.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah. Because I was really into the Dead Weather at the time. You go through phases, don't you? And I love the Dead Weather still. And even though the Kills are great, the Dead Weather is where it's at.
Yeah. And it's interesting you said the White Stripes, because I didn't put two and two together, but yeah, that was that feel of Trouble has a bit of that punchiness.
And I think just blues music in general.
Yeah.
I think we did a Sarah Vaughan cover when we were playing, just Connor and I, which was actually a Bessie Smith, like from the 30s, Sent Me to the Electric Chair. Really cool song.
Yeah.
So there's some old blues in there as well. So
awesome.
Yeah, bit of everything.
So as you said before, you've been playing for 10 years in Kitchen Witch. So tell me, and this could be hard, but tell me what's your favorite gig that you've played so far? Like, what's the one where the other bands that were on, the vibe was good, the venue was good, the beer was good, whatever was good. What was that one time that was just awesome gig?
I can't think of one time. I can't. But I can only seem to think of recent ones, because I know there's been so many awesome shows like over the years. I mean, you only ever play with awesome friends, but I mean, recently I have to mention this because we're lucky enough in Adelaide that we could still have gigs on, but there's no one playing at the Thebarton Theatre, which is our big amazing old theatre that people come to play in from all over the world.
Yep.
So they actually put on this festival sort of deal. There was a month of local band shows, and we got to play at Thebarton Theatre, and that was pretty amazing. And I was like, it's not good. It's not like walking out, there's a whole crowd like this, because it's still limited numbers, and it's essentially a local gig, so it's all your mates, and that's amazing because we have such good mates. And but just being on that huge stage with these amazing lighting and just being in the green rooms out the back with some of our friends that were playing that night and just seeing what was written on the wall, like Vic and Linda had written on the wall. There was like set lists from different bands, and I love Vic and Linda as well.
Yeah.
CW Stone King, you know, I saw them there. I saw Queens of Stone Age there. I've seen, pretty sure. Yeah, many cool bands there. So, you know, King Gears, I saw Tropical Fuckstorm. That was recently. It was just a seated event like a few months ago. So that was a bit of a window there too. So that was a cool show. Froth and Fury on the weekend that we played at was dope.
So the unfortunate COVID thing stopping international people coming into play enabled locals to go and play there.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe the powers that be will see value in that and say, hey, once a year we'll do a month of local stuff and see what happens. You know, maybe that's a good opportunity for the locals to get a shot at a cool venue.
Yeah, I mean, it just shakes up your thinking, doesn't it? Like,
yeah,
changes
definitely.
the system. So we'll see. Yeah, so that was pretty good. I mean, we played at Ratamango's single launch not long ago at Jive in Adelaide with some really great bands, Sons of Zoku as well, and that was just unbelievable. So like, it can be Debbie and like, yes, wow, but also just playing a local show with the bands that you play with regularly, it's just kick ass. So, you know, I just love it. That's why we do it, right?
Absolutely. It's half the music and half the people, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my percentages anyway. Some people have different percentages, but yeah, I think it's awesome. Tell me then, if you had the power of the gods, the rock gods came down and said, and surprisingly, the rock god looks like Jack Black. I don't know why. And he says,
I would love that. That has to happen.
How awesome would that be? And he says, right, you can choose any 3 bands from history, existing, dead, alive, whatever, to play one night. Tell me who those 3 bands would be.
Oh man, this is too hard. This is way too hard. You should take this question, chuck it out the window.
Nah.
It's way too hard, J-Man.
This is I love this because it admittedly, and someone's asked me this myself just recently. I haven't uploaded the interview, but yet I will this week. But it's a hard question to answer, and I think it's the answer right now. It may not be tomorrow morning, it may not be next week, but right now, that's the answer I want. That's like
okay, all right,
a moment in time.
Really, that's what, like when people say, what's your favorite album or your favorite band? It's the same shit. You can't answer that.
No.
But you can do it. Yeah, for the moment. And then I just said Dead Weather, so I'm like, yeah, it has to be Dead Weather. So this is talking about the Dead Weather.
Yep.
But then, like, I wrote a few things down. Okay, can I say all the things I wrote down and then choose 3?
Well, it depends. If you wrote 50, it's going to be a boring time for everybody.
So, also, I'm in love with All Them Witches at the moment. So,
okay. So tell me, All Them Witches, early stuff, newer stuff. What's your feel?
Well, I've been listening to the new album a lot, and I don't even know the names of the albums. So probably I've been listening to newer stuff.
Go back to Our Mother Electric.
I've probably been listening to it on Spotify.
I love it. But anyway, yep. So you've been listening to All Them Witches. Yep.
I just want to see them, let alone play with them.
Yep. Okay. So so that's one.
So I would definitely play with them. I've got here. This is who I've got: The Doors, Frank Zappa, Jack White, Alice in Chains, Eka Vandal, Soundgarden, Lake Street Dive, The Dead Weather, Deep Purple, and King Giz. So hard. But
and you got to pick 3.
Got to pick 3. So maybe I'll go with King Giz because I just want to play with them.
Well, no, you're not playing. This is 3 bands, not including Kitchen Witch.
Oh,
no, you're just observing this. You're just standing in the crowd.
Oh, okay.
In complete awe.
Oh, well, that's different because I've seen them a million times. So I would probably have to be Frank Zappa because I just want to see the xylophone player.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, plus Frank as well. But
Yeah.
like,
So
that's
Zappa.
I'll play. Alice in Chains, but with Lane.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Dead Weather, because I've never seen them. All right, there we go.
Okay. All right. No, that's a good lineup. Yeah, I think what Zappa would have to headline that. Do you think?
Who did I say again? The Dead Weather, Zappa, and
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains. Oh, yes. Yeah, it has to be Frank.
It'd have to be, because everyone would be fairly smashed by the end, I reckon.
Yeah, and he'd be sober.
Yeah,
probably. He'd just be smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee or something.
Yeah. That'd be batshit funny. I would probably pay to see that. So all right.
You would.
So okay. So you said you wanted to play with King Gizzard. So give us the set then of you and two other bands. When I say you, Kitchen Witch and two other bands.
Is this like dream shows?
Yep.
Including Kitchen Witch playing the show. Right, okay. So I misinterpreted that question.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess like, but then I've already used those people. Okay, so I guess the Doors, Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. That'd be cool.
Wow.
Sharon Jones is like amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all like, if you could only hope.
So we've talked a lot about the fact that in Adelaide, you can still gig and stuff like that. And the interruption of having not being able to have international bands come in. How do you think things are going to look post all this COVID stuff? I mean, forget about Melbourne in our lockdown, but just for Adelaide in particular, and maybe Australia in general. How do you think that's going to look? Do you think there's going to be more chances, more opportunities for local bands? Or do you think...
I freaking hope so, right? Because I'm not a freaking scientist either. So if the leaders of the freaking country can't figure out what's going to happen when Delta arrives or whatever, I mean, I can't say anything like from the health point of view, but I hope that, this has shifted people's thinking to be a bit more thinking outside the box and, and like probably valuing like the talent that we have in Australia.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Certainly hope that there is a bit more value put on local artists. Yeah, sounds great.
And I think like, because we're all like linked to each other, even in Melbourne, like, and in Sydney and Perth and everywhere, like we're all linked to each other. It's just I don't know who is looking after these people that make all the money or whatever, but we're all just doing what we do because we love it, and we all like our community.
Yeah.
And it's not just the people playing the music, it's the people coming to the music, it's people taking photos. Everyone loves it. So like, I have to admit, some radio stations that are meant to be alternative do piss me off a lot. And I do remember listening to alternative music on it once, and I know, you could use the argument that we have grown in age and things have changed, but I also feel like there's the local not-for-profit stations are often the ones that are really underground and alternative, and maybe some of these bigger radio stations should probably take a leaf out of their book sometimes and take a few more risks.
Yeah. Yeah. And, if someone was to stutter and say my first name, they'd probably have the right radio station that you're talking about, I think. But I remember a time when that was the only station I listened to, because I had moved from country Victoria to Melbourne and was bombarded with FM radio that just, pop all the time. And I went to that other station and was like, oh, thank God, this is great. This is something I haven't heard before, let alone heard, this morning,
Yeah.
on the repeat. But yeah, I do think you're right. I think that there are, and here in Melbourne, we've got a couple of alternative stations like PBS
Triple R and
Triple
stuff. Is that
R
right? Triple R?
Yeah. Do you have those sort of stations over in South Australia?
Yeah.
Excellent.
We've got Radio Adelaide and 3D Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just really supportive. It's a whole nother vibe. Like, to me, I'm like, why wouldn't you think of, if you're going to be somewhere that's sort of a corporate capitalist vibe, you should like take advantage of that community in a money sense, rather than making something that has to be marketed, and it markets itself. But I'm not one of those people. We're just the creatives.
That's it. We're not the unfortunately, we don't get to make those decisions, do we?
Yeah, well, one day I will. Hey, I'm just going to turn the light on.
I was going to comment that as this interview is going on, it's getting darker.
My house is pretty like sunlit.
You're getting a real dark vibe going on. Yeah. I thought it might have been the girl from The Ring sitting up there behind you on the shelf. I don't know. It looks like a plant or something, but I was like, from here, I was thinking, oh, that's creepy. But anyway, I've got my Pennywise, so.
Yeah, that's fucking creepy, man. I've been thinking that the whole time. It's staring at me.
What I do is, when I have my day job, I'm on the computers, which is fun. And I just move him around sometimes, just in between meetings, just to weird people out.
Just like,
So what's going on for Kitchen Witch at the moment? What's happening? If you got something building up, you've like you said, you just did the festival, the Froth and Fury. Did I get that right?
Yeah. It was a beer festival. Yeah, sort of. There was beer.
Yeah, there was beer. Yeah. So what's going on? Are you preparing writing, more recording, more merch? What's happening?
Yeah, so we just did a film clip like a couple of weekends ago. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just in one room with like Chris, with just one guy doing everything. It was just unbelievable. It's just him, and we were like, "Are you going to get other people?" Nah, I'm going to do it all. And so yeah, we're really looking forward to putting that out, which is pretty soon. He's just onto it. It's out, so it's so nice meeting other creatives that are like that enthusiastic. And plus, he is a guitarist singer, so he's pretty in tune. And we played with his band many times, Straight Jacket Tailors, but I don't think they're together at the moment, which is a shame. But they're really good. And so that's happening. We're going to put that out soon. We're going on a writer's retreat this weekend. Just going out to a bit of a farm stay and playing some tunes to the kangaroos.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that'd be good.
Is that something that you guys do to write, or is that just something you've just decided to do this time?
Yeah, it's something we want to do more in the future, because we realise that we're really lazy on a weeknight after we've all been working and shit. Like,
yeah,
we don't give up our day jobs, damn it. And so we thought we better do this, and we thought, okay, we might do this more often. But we're also we're playing Aftermath Festival, and I should know this stuff. I should have prepared this. That's coming up soon, which is pretty cool, which is in November.
Yep.
And I think that was meant to go to all around the country, Aftermath.
Yeah.
Let me find it. But we're also, so with that writers' retreats, that's something we're going to do fairly regularly in the future. The thing that we really have to do now is find a bass player. So we can play Aftermath, and we wanted to go to Brisbane in December, because we were hoping to do national tours and all that, just like everyone. So, that's the way it is. And basically hoping from this writer's retreat that we're going to write an album pretty soon.
Okay.
But, you always hope. Okay, Aftermath Adelaide is Kitchen Witch, Dirty Pagans, Emergency Rule, awesome bands, Heinous Crime, Heinous Crimes, Sundowner, and Gollum. I've seen all those bands except for Gollum, which I would love to catch there, and they're all really fucking kick ass. And it's at Enigma Bar, Saturday, November 20. So for all you people in Melbourne, we should just be doing more live streaming. We were lucky enough to have our drummer during like lockdown, sort of got together with friends and created Sunnyside Uploads.
Okay.
And we released our album through that because we couldn't have people at shows, very many people. So it was live streamed. So they had like 4 cameras, like on tracks and everything. And there was interviews, and we even did this stupid video at the end of us being idiots. And it all got live streamed. So, you know, I think maybe that's something that really changed music in this time, is like having the live streams happen.
Yeah, we had a few.
I wish that I could do that for this one for you guys, but hopefully you'll be out of lockdown you would be out of lockdown by then anyway, wouldn't you? November 20?
They think so.
Yeah, cool. Well,
I mean, yeah,
still live stream's the way to go, because then you're going all around the world.
Yeah, it does open things up, and we had a couple of really good live stream events here in Melbourne that I was impressed with. That, you know, we sat down and really enjoyed. But if I had and at the time, the guitarist in Ocean Lord, Pete, and myself were sharing a house. So we're in the garage with a big sheet up and the projector on the screen. And,
awesome.
You know, we sat there and just had beers and whatever. So it was cool, the 2 of us there. But had it been just myself, I don't know if I would have gotten right into it. I probably just would have watched it on the computer and sort of still enjoyed. But I think it's that people, the connection, the people, and sharing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So
because you're more likely to dance. I don't know about you, J-Man, but
well, I didn't dance. I didn't
you
dance
like a
that
boogie?
night. No, I don't. No, I'm not a boogier. No.
Boogie man.
I will shuffle, but that's about as far as it goes.
That's good.
And I wasn't going to get up and dance in front of Pete, because you know.
Don't you guys have an eternal bond since you're in a band together?
Well, yeah, but you know, he'd laugh and point, so he'd be like, so it's really cool. So what was I going to ask you next? I was going to ask you, because of you haven't okay, my words are all stuffed.
Yeah.
You haven't toured the latest release yet. So is that the aim, to tour the latest release?
Oh, yeah. Yep. You know, Europe, world domination, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Why not? It'd be good to, like you said, just to get to Queensland, you know, Brisbane, Sydney if you can, Melbourne. It'd be great if you come down.
And I would like to go to Melbourne too, because I just like Planet of the Apes, really good friends of ours.
Yep.
And we've like played with them a few times. Yeah, and like vibes. I'm on one of their songs as a guest, and I would love to perform it with them in Melbourne.
I totally forgot about that. You are, and too.
Even Adelaide too, but you know, obviously, but yeah. So one day soon.
Yeah, that'd be good. So how did that come about then? Just being mates with Planet of the Apes. How did did they just approach you and say, "Hey, come and sing on this"? Yeah,
basically. So they got like the whole of their release is different guest performers that they've played with. Yeah. And it's amazing. I mean, they are amazing in general. So I can't fault them. Like, they're just great. And hopefully the rest of the world can see that too.
Oh, I think it's happening. Did you do the vocals over there, or did you travel, or what's the deal?
No, in Adelaide, yeah.
Yeah.
So Fantastic. It's kind of in the first lockdown that major one that Melbourne had.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It feels like a decade ago.
Yeah.
So
so I recorded it in studio for time with my friend Nick, who's also the singer guitarist in the band that I mentioned before. Whoa, they're no longer together, but really worth having a listen to. And they've got multiple harmonies and guitar, like 2 guitars, and they're just unbelievable. So it was really good working with him. I really like working with him with vocals.
Mm-hmm.
He, even though he does sound for film, that's his job. And he's been a sound engineer for bands and things like that. But I would love to just have him every time that we recorded vocals, because he just gets it, and he gets me, and he gets the music that we play. So yeah, it's pretty good.
It's very important.
Yeah.
So we're nearing the end of our time, but what I do want to ask you, and this is an important question, what song of yours do you want to add to our Spotify playlist?
Okay, Lost.
That was easy.
It's all of our favorite songs. Well, I think so. If they don't think that, then they should. So
they don't think it.
If they don't think that's the best song, then they should. The rest of the band. So Lost is the one.
Lost is it. It seems to be getting a lot of play on Spotify too, so that's good. So what we'll do is we'll throw that into the People of the Music playlist. And I don't know if you know this, but when I started, the aim is that every person I speak to puts a song on the playlist, and I actually had a Kitchen Witch song on there as filler until I had enough people giving me songs. So, and it wasn't lost.
You're asking me to put a Kitchen Witch song on the playlist, right? Or just any song?
No.
Okay, good.
I want yours.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I was just paying you the compliment that even before I started, I put 10 or 12 songs in the list, and one of them was a Kitchen Witch song.
Oh, 10 or 12. That's awesome. What song was it?
As a placeholder. It was. I had to take it off because obviously people have put their own stuff on there now, and I had to remove it. It was Frontal Lobe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy that track. Really. But I have to be honest with you. My favorite is Slipstream. I don't know. I don't know why. It just speaks to me. It's got a really cool feel to it. Yeah, I like it. But yes,
cool.
We will throw Lost onto the Spotify playlist. There'll be links there and there and there. What I do want to say too is that I'm going to put all of your band links down there somewhere.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
And thank you so much for your time. You came home from work and dealing with the fading light and everything to talk to me.
I know it's so hard. It's so freaking hard, but I got to do it. No, thanks so much. It's been really good chat. And it's nice to hear about, what's going on over there. And hopefully we'll all be able to connect soon, and Ocean Lord will come to Adelaide as well. Quietly.
Yeah, it's one of the definite things I want to do is get over there and play with you guys in Adelaide, but I'd also like for you guys to come over here and play in Melbourne with us. So that'd be cool too. So, but we'll get there one day.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, Georgie, thank you very much. Georgie from, where are you from again? Kitchen Witch. That's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
It's been awesome. Have a good night.